fact, we have nothing to worry about. According to our research, the next emission will not occur for at least 2 months, 4 days, and 7 hours. Its intensity will be 3 on the Bergman scale, which is 2.13.
Without going into detail, I must say I have never seen anything like this before. The encephalogram suggests serious damage to the nervous system, but the other indicators couldn't be better. It's astounding.
Perhaps it has something to do with the emission.
Most certainly. Although so far I've been utterly unable to formulate a rational explanation for this abnormality.
Look, he's waking up. You're awake. That's good. Welcome back to the world of the living, Stalker. How are you feeling? Do you remember what happened to you? In the joking mood, eh? That bodes well for your recovery. I'm Lebedev, the group leader, and I'm responsible for everyone here. That includes you, for as long as you're here. We call ourselves Clear Sky, and you are in our base right now. Lucky? I doubt it. The facts are these. You survived the emission. That's the first thing I still can't explain. The second thing is that our patrol found you in the swamps, which are essentially endless quicksand. And thirdly, you nearly got torn into shreds by a pack of pseudo-dogs.
Крупинка за крупинкой гоняется с дубинкой.
I see you. Just a minute. You became quite a legend while you were out of it. Even you wouldn't believe some of the rumors I've heard. Anyways, here's a drink on the house for a lucky son of a gun. Well then, you drink and I'll tell you about this place. It used to be pretty quiet here. We had the paths worked out, the right places explored, and the approach covered. Of course, the swamps ain't exactly spring break material, but it wasn't too bad either. Yeah, I was collecting bottles one after another, and they led me here. I'm kidding, man. Truth is, there was no place for me in that other world. It didn't want me. In the end, I came here. First to the zone, and then to Clear Sky. The guys here are alright, and I'm needed here. They come back here after a mission, I pour them a drink, tell a few dirty jokes, and my job is done. Sit in our base. As you can see, it's a small, sinking farmstead in the middle of romantic, endless swamps. I couldn't tell you where it is exactly, but it's the last place in the zone where you can meet real people. You know why you've never heard of it? Because too many people want to know about it, and the fewer that do, the better. Lebedev is our leader. The man is a rock if ever I've seen one. He's the glue that holds our whole group together.
Colt, leave the merc alone with your dirty jokes. I need to see him.
Well, brother, if Lebedev says he needs to see you, that ain't up for a discussion. Go on, I'll catch you later.
Got some fresh air? You look better, that's for sure. Let me fill you in on this situation. You're in the Clear Sky base. Don't try to remember who we are. You've never heard of us, and there's a very good reason for that. Our mission is to research the zone. We believe that the zone must be studied and understood so that humanity knows what it is facing here. Understanding is the key to coexisting with the zone. Because if you think about it, the zone is the most wondrous phenomenon humanity has been confronted with in its entire history. As I said, we are researchers. We are trying to figure out the nature of the zone, determine the reasons which caused it to appear, and formulate the rules that govern its existence. We are not consumed by a quest for money. We don't seek fields of artifacts, and we're not interested in turf wars with other factions. That is why we're hiding here in the swamps and concentrating on our research. Our forte is not combat, but knowledge. Knowledge of the zone, accumulated over years of research. We know more about it than stalkers and the government combined. And our research was finally shaping up into a sound, coherent picture until the massive emission a few days ago. No, that emission was incredibly powerful. It was on a level of its own. It was like a hurricane that swept the whole zone, changing it. Everything is different. The well-known and relatively safe areas have become highly radioactive and full of anomalies. But now, you can access parts of the zone that have been unreachable for years. Even the most hardened stalkers don't know what awaits them on their favorite path. The other thing that changed is people, and that became evident right away. The emission destroyed the fragile balance between factions, and they're now warring for death. I see. How can I help you? Getting out of here isn't easy, not by a long shot. The swamps are a real maze of reeds and radioactive quicksand, swarming with terrible monsters and human scum. And I don't know which is worse. Only a guide can lead you safely out of here. We are having a very tough time here recently. The emission reduced the number of anomalies in the swamps, which made the area easily accessible for bandits and other vermin. There are so many of them, they'll be setting up camp in our base soon if we don't do something about it. The problem is that for now...
This is the second outpost. We're under attack. I repeat, we're under attack. Help!
That's enough chit-chat. There's been another attack on our outpost. Help us fight it off. If it makes any difference, great. Get over to the trader and he'll fit you out with some basic equipment. After that, head straight to the outpost. Once you're... Trader, the fighter is on his way.
Roger that.
Hello there. At last. Here, take this basic equipment. I've been ordered to issue you some...
What you need, Stalker?
Merc, there are anomalies ahead. Be careful. Remember, don't move until you've thrown a bolt in front of you. By the way, you can sometimes find artifacts in anomalies. You can't see them, but detectors spot them easily enough. If you get close enough, your detector will indicate the location of the artifact, and then you just pick it up easy as pie. Keep in mind that your current detector isn't exactly top of the line. It only shows the distance to the artifact.
Run for the tower! The monsters can't get you there!
You're right on time, bro. I'm real low on ammo, so let's make the best of it together.
Attention all fighters. Enemy mission is approaching. Get to cover now! You survived the mission again. I'm not even that surprised. Our boys picked you up not far from the tower when things calmed down a bit. You know, Bien Polev was right. You defy scientific explanation. He believes that you acquired some, let's say, unusual abilities, which help you survive anomalous activity that would literally tear anyone else down to atoms. Also, it looks like something is increasing your body's performance in several areas, to the point where our monitoring equipment goes off the scale. Wait, don't get too excited. There's always a fly in the ointment. Every emission harms your nervous system, and if this continues, you will die. A normal emission is the release of energy accumulated in the zone. A discharge, if you like. But what's happening now is completely different. In my opinion, the increasing regularity of these emissions is the zone's response to some sort of serious threat, akin to the response provided by a human immune system. It is difficult to rationally explain coexistence between humans and the zone. The zone tolerates us in some areas and forbids us from going to others. Whatever is beyond the Scorcher and further towards the center of the zone is taboo, a place where stalkers are not supposed to set foot. I think that recent events in the zone, it's hard to say. To answer that question, I would need to know what's in the center of the zone. Some say the monolith, others say the Vishkrater. The more unpretentious ones dream about fields of rare artifacts. I was at the power plant myself, a young specialist at the time, but I don't know what's there now. What I can say is that the Scorcher appeared for a reason. It prevents the center of the zone from being reached. I didn't think so until the large emission. Hell, nobody thought so. However, if you consider the emissions to be a defensive reaction, then the answer is obvious. Someone made it through the Scorcher, and the emission was the zone's response. And since the emissions haven't stopped, whoever it was must still be alive. I know a lot about the zone, but I can't share everything with you. You'll just have to trust me on some things. A system, any system, needs to be in equilibrium. The zone is unstable right now, and this instability is increasing. If the constant emissions aren't stopped, the zone will become so unstable that a new disaster will occur. Which brings us to what Clear Sky is doing. We are trying to prevent that disaster. You're right, but we do know how to prevent a disaster and stop the emissions, and that means something. We have to find out who was in the center of the zone and stop them. There's a strange connection between you and the zone. On the one hand, every new emission gradually kills you. On the other hand, you survive in situations where others don't stand a chance. My gut feeling tells me that your abilities, your gift, your curse, call it what you will, they mean you can get through places that others wouldn't even dream of. And that I knew you'd ask that. The answer is simple. If the emissions aren't stopped, you're nervous. Unfortunately, yes. Then listen carefully. We have made use of all our contacts and connections in the zone. As a result, through the swamps, of course, how else? But remember what I said. After the emission, a whole army of all kinds of scum. Start talking, buddy.
Your main guide is the objective section. Your main objective is displayed here, together with a selected additional objective. There can be several additional objectives which you can cycle through using these buttons. Most objectives are also displayed on the map, with the exception of rare occasions when your objectives cannot be located. We will need your help with not only destroying the enemy, but also capturing key positions. In these situations, our fighters will be grateful if you provide covering fire as they capture a position. By the way, don't ignore calls for help. Our boys' lives could be at stake. Hovering over a mark on the map will display additional information. In addition to your objectives, friendly units and identified enemies. You have my full attention.
again. Glad to see you. Oh, welcome, guest from foreign lands. What come you with? Yeah, I heard your story. I reckon the main thing is that you're still alive. That's the sort of people we are. You can't buy an extra 15 minutes of life, or a spare sword from death. But us traders are needed everywhere. Even in the zone, even in the swamps, and even underground. It's an illusion that the zone is up. Let's not talk about it. You have no idea how tired I am of peddling these trinkets. There's a ton of ordinary artifacts out there. Who knows? Maybe stalkers have already found everything there is to find. Yeah, I know. Anyway, listen, I've told you too much as it is. Drop in next time you're in our neck of the woods.
What you need, Stalker?
We're there, so you can take your blindfold off. Don't you try to follow me, it won't work anyway. If you want to come back to the base, find one of the guys at the fishing hamlet. Merc, it looks like you're at the Great Swamps now. Be extremely careful and don't try to be a hero. Check out your PDA. You should find the location of our squads there. I suggest you get yourself over to the fishing hamlet. That's where they are. Merc, it looks like you're at the Great Swamps now. Be extremely careful and don't try to be a hero. Check out your PDA. You should find the location of our squads there. I suggest you get yourself over to the fishing hamlet. That's where they are.
You really turned it around. Your reward will be waiting for you at the base. Братан, наваляй йому! Я збоку зайду! Кінчай його! Прикривай, брателло! Прикрий, понял? Вали! Вали його! Братан, не дай йому висунутися!
Гандюха, веселее!
Я збоку зайду! Все, зажмурся! Вали! Вали его! Ну, чики-брики!
Ну, подорвали, пацаны!
Ты жмур! Вали! Вали его! Братан, не дай ему высунуться!
Well done, men. We've reinforced our position in the swamps enough to give the renegades a real good kicking. Next objective is their main base.
Дай ему прикурить, а я... Ты покой!
На, получай!
Пошел!
Where are you little shits hiding?
Come on, man! This ain't funny! Come in!
Attack! Get him!
We'll smoke him out with this.
Усе, дострибався! Прикрий мене! Прикривай, я пішов!
На тебе, на!
Ти труп, мужик!
The asshole dug in! Here, catch a grenade!
У нас убитий!
Все, ты труп! На тебе, на!
Притисни його до землі!
Жри, сволочь!
Все, ти покійник!
That was a nice fight, wasn't it? Resume your positions. Shoot only on my command. Shit's hiding! Keep your eyes peeled! Keep on guard! Whoa! That was a nice fight, wasn't it? What's up, Stalker?
They see us! I repeat, they see us!
тебе ж таке! Ах!
Drop by our base sometime. All we need to do now is to control the paths to the swamps. That's a promise.
What do you want, anyway? What's up, Stalker? How much longer do I have to wait? Are you taking a nap over there?
Fight out in the open.
Let me use this.
Ножи!
Where are you little shits hiding? Stay down and wait. Keep on guard.
The swamps are now under our control. Good job, boys. Back on your safe guard. Dig in at key positions and wait for further instructions.
Stalker, what do you want? What you need, Stalker?
Visitor? Want to talk? I'll be right there. Have a safe trip. Want to trade? Good luck to you.
Stalker, what do you want? What do you want, anyway? So, what is it that you need? What's up, Stalker? You have my full attention.
I haven't seen anyone come from the swamps in a long while. You've come out right next to the army outpost. There's only one thing a stalker can expect from the army, and that's a bullet. So I'd be careful if I were you. Lucky devil. I've got a feeling there's a reason for you being here. Pop in and see me if you're in the area.
Naya, nice to see you. So, hello, Merc. Tell me, what brings you here? I see so many stalkers in here, it's a pain to remember them all. Any reason I should strain my brain for you? Now we're talking business, I like that. Well, here's the thing. I've been here for a while. My business is up and running, I get different orders here and there, and people trust me. I have a problem with my last order, and the trouble is the client is very important, and the loot he's after is unique. Everything was going fine. Stalkers would get the loot from inside the zone, and the army boys were supposed to ensure they could get it through the cordon. Well, the two parties started bickering over something, and now the whole place has gone crazy. The result is the stalkers are fighting the military, and nobody's got a clue where the loot is. And that doesn't suit me at all, because the order needs to be completed. So, visit the stalkers by the embankment. They've set up some sort of base there, and that's where they're holding the captive military commander, Kaletsky. I don't care what you do at that base. I don't care if those fruitcakes want to continue playing Robin Hood's merry men. All I want is that case and the loot that's inside it. For starters, try talking to Valerian, the stalker leader. Come on, tell me what you got for me. Hey, Merc. Hurry up with that case, all right?